If you continue in this work, I'm going to challenge you, because I know that nobody changes unless they're challenged. I challenged your body, your fatigue, your mind. I challenged everything. And yet, you kept showing up for you. That means you believe in you. And that becomes a habit. And when people get up from their meditations and they give up on themselves, they just don't believe in themselves any longer. You show up. If you believe in yourself, you believe in possibilities. And if you believe in possibilities, you got to believe in yourself. And I stretched you to that point where it was no longer about your fatigue or your body or whatever, or your story or whatever it is. I promise you, you walk into your life, you're going to believe in yourself a whole lot more than you used to, because you showed up for yourself. And I hope by now you're feeling worthy to receive. Worthy to receive. Worthy to receive, not in an entitled, arrogant, self-centered, self-important way. That's not it. Worthy to receive, like, wow, I feel so great. I feel so happy. I feel so free. I showed up for myself. I feel good about me. And that's the perfect place to create in. Tired and happy. Loose and goofy and curious. Lighten up on you. I mean, I am the worst. When I'm in my own way, when I'm analyzing, you want to talk about overcoming an analytical mind? If I can do it, you can do it. It's so important to strive for something other than that. I want you to return back into your life empowered by you. Feeling so worthy to receive that you understand that somehow in your brain and body it feels like it's already happened. And that's the moment it starts to happen, because you're no longer looking for it. How could you look for your future when it feels like it's already happened? Maintain that modified state of being your entire day, and the experiment should be something weird should happen in your life. That's the law. Something different, something unknown, something unusual, some opportunity, some synchronicity. What do you want to call it? Something greater than a parking space. Like, whoa, that's like what I'm looking for. Whoa, that's like this is a breadcrumb from the divine. I'm going to chase that. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. Keep making that choice, and you're going to wind up in a whole different reality. That's what happens when you choose you on a regular basis. Those people that have healed themselves from health conditions, 7 years, 13 months, 2 years, 8 months, it didn't occur to them. It didn't occur to them to miss a day. Nothing else was working. It was just them constantly changing. Changing to the point where so many of them said, I went to my doctor, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I felt so good, I really didn't care if I had the condition any longer. That's the moment it goes away, because you're no longer identifying with it any longer. And I've said to people, would you come on the stage and tell the story of your healing? You know what some of them said to me? And these are people that were abused physically, emotionally, sexually. A few of them said to me, I don't even remember my story. Like, why would I even go there? Like, I'm over it. Like, they're telling a whole different story. They didn't want to tell the story. Like, I'm good. Like, I am really good. I mean, they belong to the future now. So we do this work. We do the work every day to change. That's what we're doing. And if we change, when we change, our life changes. That's the law. The experiment is yours. You're this individual soul on the journey back to source, and you're going to tell a story. And you might as well make it really gallant and noble. And you got to have really, really big antagonists and challenges. A hero's got to emerge. And people who overcome their past, oh my God, they don't have to talk about it any longer. They're satisfied with who they are. So it is the overcoming process that is the becoming process. I want you to remember that when you return back into your life. I want you to return back into your life changed. And your job is to maintain that change. And that means you got to make time to pay attention to your inner world as much as you do to your outer world. And set your cell phone down. Shut it off and walk away from it. Get away from it for a period of time and think for yourself. Get the triple filtered water. Get a great glass of wine. Get a shot of tequila. Have your mango juice. I don't care, whatever it is. And sit down and ask yourself, what do I know? Ask yourself, at what is the point, Joe Dispenza, remember I'm talking you, in second person, what is that point where you stop believing that you create reality? What's that point? Like when things go really good, well, what about the other stuff? At what point do you think that you don't create your reality? What is that? Let's talk about that. Let's have a long thought. Let's have a stream of consciousness to the point where I actually have to make a different choice. The time for contemplation is the building process neurologically in the brain. And that's thinking for yourself. And it's so important to think for ourselves in this time. It's so important to make time to have those long thoughts. I care enough about your investment in your time and energy in being here for you to go out and be the example for the world. That's the greatest compliment you could ever give me. The greatest compliment is demonstrating the work. You got to practice being noble. You got to practice being honorable. You got to do it in your walk. You got to practice like you know how to do the breath when you walk. You got to practice that you are the mystic. You got to walk as if you've walked through dimensions or traveled through time. Try that out for a period of time in the experiment. Make time to do this on a regular basis. Your life will change seamlessly in the most mysterious ways. And who gets to be the beneficiary of those efforts? Say it. You do, and then who else? Your family, yes? And then your friends and your coworkers, and ultimately the world. The world needs you. The world needs you. The world needs you to demonstrate greatness for it. And every single day, if you just took a little time for you on a regular basis to keep the experiment going, asking yourself, what are my blind spots? And am I lying to myself? Do I know better? You know, an addiction is something that you know that's not good for you and you keep doing it. What are you willing to give up for a new future? That's the process. And the discomfort and the uncomfort, being in the unknown, should drive us. That irritation should drive us to overcome. I'm happy with your evolution, and I don't want you to let up on you. If you keep going, the breath gets easier. If you keep going, your heart opens up easier. If you keep going, energy moves automatically. If you keep going, your dreams get more lucid. If you keep going, weird things happen to you. Don't ask me, ask the community. They'll tell you that.